Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on a really significant investment you can make in your home wellness. We're talking about turning a simple space into, a personal sanctuary.
And for a lot of people, that means finding the perfect infrared sauna.
Exactly. A piece of equipment that has to balance powerful therapy, great build quality, and this is the big one, verified safety.
Right.
The moment you start shopping, you just get hit with this wall of jargon, conflicting reviews, and that anxiety about EMF exposure.
It's everywhere.
So our mission today is tailored for you. We've synthesized the specs, we've looked at the technical reports, and distilled all the real-world feedback on one of the most popular models out there, the JNHNC 2-person Ultra-Low EMF Infrared Sauna.
This is your shortcut.
It is. Consider this your shortcut to making a really informed decision fast.
The information overload in this space is just paralyzing. And you hit on the key challenge, which is safety. Unlike a gym, this unit is going to be in your home, right next to your bedroom maybe. And you're sitting close to heating elements every single day.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So the focus has to shift from just features to verifiable safety. Specifically how this model handles electromagnetic fields, or EMF. We're going to dig into the independent tests, the build quality, and see if it really delivers that peace of mind.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with just the basics of the unit itself. The name, JNHNC 2-person, kind of gives it away.
Well, it does, but it's important to set the expectation right away. It's sold as a luxury home spa, but really you should think of it as a premium, super comfortable solo unit that can fit a partner if you need it to.
Okay, so cozy.
Very cozy. It's built for health-conscious people, for regular personal use, definitely not for commercial gym traffic.
And placement is always the first hurdle, especially if you're in an apartment or a smaller home. What are the dimensions we're working with?
Okay, so you absolutely have to measure. The footprint is exactly 47.3 inches wide by 39.5 inches deep, and it stands 75 inches high.
That height is the key one.
And that's often the critical one, yeah, especially for basements or older homes. Now, for the build, the sources all highlight the Canadian hemlock wood.
And that's a big deal.
It's a massive positive, it's durable, it's stable, and maybe most importantly, it has a chemical-free, clean smell. No off-gassing like you get with cheaper plywood.
Right. And the heat itself comes from 8 carbon fiber far infrared heaters. For anyone new to this, that difference between far infrared and a traditional steam sauna it's everything.
It completely changes the experience. A traditional Finnish sauna, is that intense, humid heat. It heats the air around you to 180 degrees, and you sweat because your body is just trying to cope.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
Far infrared is a whole different ballgame. It uses specific wavelengths of light, the same kind of heat the sun gives off, just without any of the harmful UV rays. To penetrate deep into your body's tissues, it warms you from the inside out.
So you get that deep therapeutic sweat, but at a much lower, more comfortable ambient temperature. We're talking maybe 120, 140 degrees.
Exactly. And that gentle systemic warmth is what really drives the therapeutic value. It's a deeper, more sustained sweat that's way easier on your respiratory system.
Okay, that brings us right to the headline feature of this model, the thing that really separates it from the competition. That ultra-low EMF claim.
This is where we stop talking about luxury and start talking about non-negotiable safety. All electronics emit some EMF, but sitting inches from powerful heaters for half an hour a day, that's a legitimate concern for a lot of buyers.
And JNH addresses this head on.
They do, and what's fascinating is that it's not just some marketing fluff they made up. The heaters were independently tested by 2 highly reputable third-party labs, Intertek and Vitec.
So this is verified.
This is external, ongoing verification. It turns a huge anxiety point into a major competitive strength.
And there's a specific number from that testing that people should really remember. What was that measurement again?
The testing showed that the heaters emitted an average of just 0.32 milligauss. That's mg.
0.32.
Right. And to put that in perspective, the accepted safe goal for this kind of exposure is usually under 3 milligauss. So achieving 0.32 is, for all practical purposes, near zero exposure.
I think we need to really drive that home. Compared to other things in your house, how low is 0.32 milligauss?
It's incredibly low. Your microwave oven can emit fields over 200 milligauss. A hairdryer, which you hold right next to your head, can easily top 100 milligauss.
Wow.
Yeah. An electric blanket can hit 15 or 20 milligauss. The fact that this sauna maintains an average of 0.32 while you're sitting inside for half an hour, it just eliminates that EMF anxiety completely.
Okay, so let's pivot from safety to function. We're convinced it's safe. How does this deep heat actually deliver on those therapeutic promises?
The mechanism is really simple but powerful. The deep heat promotes something called vasodilation.
Which means your blood vessels open up.
Exactly, just like they would during intense exercise. And this improvement in circulation is the catalyst for almost all the health benefits. It means more oxygen, more nutrients getting to your muscles and tissues.
So better muscle recovery, less stiffness in your joints?
Right. It helps flush out lactic acid, it eases joint stiffness, and it aids in detoxification through that deep sweat. On top of all that, the warmth triggers your body's rest and digest mode, which leads to some profound stress reduction.
We saw some powerful testimonials on this. I'm thinking of the one from Joe P., who mentioned relief from joint pain and fatigue associated with Lyme disease. That's a serious claim.
It is, and that's where you see it's more than just feeling warm. That vasodilation helps with lymphatic drainage, which helps the body remove the metabolic waste that contributes to inflammation.
So it's about reducing inflammation system-wide.
Precisely. When users report better sleep, less joint pain, they're describing the body's response to improved circulation and lower inflammation, all triggered by that far infrared heat.
So if the internal tech is top tier, the structure holding it all together has to match. Let's talk about the build quality.
The choice of solid, tongue and groove Canadian hemlock is really central to its quality. It resists warping, it ensures a tight seal for heat retention, and it gives you that authentic, clean sauna scent.
And they have that dual wall insulation feature. That seems like a small detail, but for someone in an apartment, that's huge.
Oh, it's absolutely key. There's an air gap between the inner and outer walls that acts as a thermal buffer.
So the outside doesn't get dangerously hot.
Exactly. The exterior walls stay cool to the touch, so you can safely place it right up against a bedroom wall without any risk. Plus, it makes it more efficient.
And another practical point that saves a lot of hassle and money, the power source.
Yes. This is a big one. It runs on a standard 120-volt household outlet, the same one you use for lamp. You don't need to hire an expensive electrician to install special wiring.
Okay, now for the two-person reality check. This seems to be the biggest point of friction for new buyers. Is it really for two people?
That's a fair challenge. The customer feedback is very clear on this. Yes, 2 average-sized adults can fit. But it is cozy. You're shoulder to shoulder.
So if you and your partner want to use it daily and have some personal space,
you should strongly consider the 3-person model. The 2-person unit is really ideal for a dedicated solo user who might occasionally have a guest. Setting that expectation up front is key.
And what about essential upgrades? The sources mentioned a couple of highly recommended accessories.
2 things come up constantly. The chromotherapy light, which adds to the relaxing ambience, and the ergonomic seat set. And I'd say the seat set is almost essential, not just an option, for anyone over, say, 5'10".
Why is that?
The standard flat bench can push taller people's backs right up against the hot rear heating panel. The ergonomic seats are contoured to push you forward just slightly, creating a safe and much more comfortable gap.
All right, let's get into the balanced view. No product is perfect. Let's start with the aggregated pros.
The strengths are really clear and verified. First, that independently tested ultra-low EMF safety. That is the gold standard.
Non-negotiable for many people.
Absolutely. Second, the high-quality Canadian hemlock construction. It looks and feels premium. Third, the far infrared heating is efficient, it warms up quickly, and it's effective. And finally, the value. Customers consistently say it delivers luxury quality without the $10,000 price tag.
But the cons are critical for a complete picture, and they seem to center on the pain of just getting the thing set up.
Yes, the main frustration across the board is assembly. These are heavy, solid wood panels. The feedback consistently mentions that the instructions are often video only with no clear paper directions.
I can see that being a nightmare.
It leads to a lot of frustration. People talked about a lack of information. Some even had leftover parts. You need patience, about 1.5 to 3 hours, and you absolutely need a strong helper.
And what about minor quality control issues? Anything there?
Scattered reports, yes. Nothing that affects the core function, but things that mar the experience, like a ceiling light mounted crookedly, or, more commonly, the internal speakers having a weird buzz.
Annoying little things.
Exactly. And one more practical headache. You have to physically unplug the unit after every single use. If your only outlet is behind the sauna, that becomes a real nuisance very quickly.
So with all that in mind, what's the overall customer sentiment? We're looking at almost 300 reviews.
The sentiment is overwhelmingly positive. It has a strong 4.7 out of 5-star average. And the rave reviews aren't just about features, they're about transformation. People call it a life-changing health tool, a game changer for their wellness routine.
And the value really hits home for people.
It does. A user named Nick E. called it an outstanding sauna for the price. And people love the aesthetics too. They say it looks so sleek and very high-end, so it actually complements their home decor.
And the criticisms really just confirm the pain points we already identified.
Precisely. The complaints are all about needing better paper instructions for assembly and confirming that taller users really do need those optional ergonomic seats.
Okay, let's bring this deep dive home. What's the final verdict, and who is the ideal person for this sauna?
The final verdict is strong. The JNHNC 2 is a top-tier choice that delivers on its biggest promises. Verified safety, effective therapy, and a solid build, all without that crazy 5-figure price tag.
So who should be adding this to their cart right now?
Okay, 3 groups. First, anyone seeking targeted therapeutic benefits, detox, muscle recovery, pain relief. Second, the safety-focused buyer who will not compromise on verified ultra-low EMF. And third, anyone who values high-quality Canadian hemlock and smart space-saving design.
And who should maybe pause and think twice?
Well, if you need a truly spacious 2-person experience where you can stretch out, you really should look at the 3-person model. Also, if you want that intense high-heat steam of a traditional sauna, this is a different kind of heat. It's gentler.
And the assembly.
And finally, yes, if you are not prepared for a potentially frustrating 2 to 3 hour assembly project that requires a strong helper, you need to factor that in.
That really raises an important question for you, the listener, doesn't it?
It does. Given the clear verified safety and the long-term health benefits, how do you weigh that one-time frustration of assembly against the daily long-term value of having this incredible wellness tool in your own home?
You now have the full picture on the JNHNC 2-person sauna. The verified safety, the quality construction, the real-world experiences, and the pros and cons. We've given you what you need to cut through the noise.
Absolutely.
If this sounds like the balance of quality, value, and peace of mind you've been looking for, you can find the link to the latest price and any exclusive offers right in the description below. Your journey to deeper relaxation and better health is just a click away.
We began to feel the fire.